Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, is Tszyu about to get exposed against Ocampo? I'm going to sit here and say I think so. I think Tszyu's going to get exposed, man. When he first fought over here in the States, look, he had a rough outing. In that first round, he got dropped. Then he went on to win the fight. But I'm going to tell you right now, Tszyu, he's not elite. He's not elite. He got his father's last name. He's obviously got some power. And he can do some damage to you if you stand in front of him and take shots. Now, let's look at Tony Harrison, that fight when he fought Tszyu. I'm not going to drill down into the weeds on that. We know what happened. But that ring was super small, and Tony Harrison just didn't look like he wanted to be there. Harrison had gone on record, and what I'm telling y'all is a fact. He had gone on record and talked about how he was just grateful to be getting the opportunity to fight Tszyu in Australia, basically get a vacation and make a couple million. When you look at the opponent he was going to face, he wasn't even going to make, I don't even think, $250,000. So it was like a retirement payday for him. And you can't make me believe that he went over there with the intentions to beat Tszyu. All he was throwing was a jab the whole fight. He never tried to throw a right hand, really wasn't showing any defense at all because he couldn't escape Tszyu and he didn't have the conditioning. And these are facts, man. Okay? So now Tszyu, he got that win, he got that name on his resume. But that win isn't necessarily going to correlate to a win against Ocampo. Ocampo, man, most people remember him when he fought Earl Spence out there in Dallas, first round body shot, he went down. He's come back, man. He's on a 13-1 streak since then. Fought Fundora, gave Fundora hell, but he lost that fight. But Ocampo isn't a guy who's going to just come in there and just do like Tony Harrison and let you beat him from pillar to post. And I'm telling you right now, my only concern with Ocampo is that he's going down to Australia to fight. And my concern is just conditioning and making sure that he's had the opportunity to acclimate to the time change, which I think he's done. But you listen to Tszyu, because Tszyu is out here saying he knows it's a different challenge, and he feels this fight with Ocampo is going to be much harder than Harrison. You know why it's going to be much harder? Because Ocampo's coming to win. He's not looking for a couple $1 million to sail off into the sunset. He's not looking to go into bed with the secret society and to let them get what they want so they can build Tszyu's profile. That's not what Ocampo's about. I'm telling you right now, man, that fight's going to be extremely physical. This isn't going to be a fight like against Tony Harrison, where Tony Harrison was in there trying to tickle him. No, Ocampo is one of them tough Mexican fighters, the stereotypical Mexican style, seek and destroy, mash up, crash up. You know what I mean? I'm going to die in the ring. And that's why the middleweight champion, Tszyu, the junior middleweight champion, anticipates an extremely tough fight. And I think you guys all should. When you look on paper, man, Harrison was probably the toughest challenge of Tszyu's career. But we got to understand where Harrison was in his career when he went in the ring with Tszyu. We got to keep these things in perspective. And don't for a second look at the 22-0 and 16 knockout record of Tszyu and think now that, hey, he's going to be in control of this fight with Ocampo. He's going to knock Ocampo out. That's just not what it is. He deserves respect because Tszyu, to me, he's right there with Shane Mosley Jr. Fathers were great, had the kids. Kids have some potential. Not elite, but they have some potential. He's right there. A Eubank Jr., maybe a notch above both of those guys. A Conor Ben, not quite sure what direction he's going. We got to see how he performs since all that crap with the clomiphene and all the boiled eggs. But what I'm telling you is, stylistically, Ocampo, Tszyu, is a very, very tough fight. I think more for Tszyu. Because he's just, if he can't just get his shots off and he can't hurt Ocampo, he is going to get overwhelmed. And you keep hearing Earl Spence talk about drowning Terrence Crawford. Ocampo's going to overwhelm him and drown him. I'm telling you. And once he drowns him, he's going to probably beat him back to life and then beat him again back to death. So I'm just telling you right now, we got to pay attention, because I'm telling you right now, everybody's sitting here, man, and wanting their shot at Charlo's championships. Look, everybody wants the 4-for-1 deal, but I'm telling you right now, you could see Ocampo being that mandatory to Jermell Charlo after tonight. They fight on Sunday, so that's Saturday. So tonight, sometime here in the States, we'll be watching it. But I'm just telling you, man, pay attention. I just think Ocampo has a bit more layers to him and has more fight in him opposed to Tony Harrison. And I'm being very realistic about it. I've just told you Tszyu can fight. I don't consider him elite. I'm going to sit here and kind of categorize him the way I do Shane Mosley Jr. Could probably pick up a title, but not elite. You don't have to be elite to pick up a title. But the Eubank Juniors, notch above that. Campbell Hatton is a notch above Tim Tszyu and a notch below Tim Tszyu and a notch below Shane Mosley Jr. But, you see, you got some of these fighters. You got a good example, Fernando Vargas boys. You got that oldest son who's a notch below Tim Tszyu, Shane Mosley Jr. You got the other one with the long curly hair who's a notch below Tim Tszyu and a notch below Shane Mosley Jr. But then you got that one who signed with Top Rank. That joker is better skill-wise and more potential than Tim Tszyu. And the same thing with Shane Mosley Jr. He's going to be on his way. But that being said, let's hold tight. Let's see what happens tonight. And let's see if they can figure out a date for the title fight and a site for an undisputed showdown between the winner of this fight and Jermell Charlo. Y'all keep cool, but I'm going to roll with the upset, Ocampo going down under and knocking out Tim Tszyu. I just think it's going to happen between rounds 7 and 10. I think he's going to knock him out, stop him. I do. But we just have to wait and see, because that small ring is going to benefit Ocampo, who's a guy who likes to mash up crasher. He's not trying to use all the real estate and box and stay on the outside and be cute and tickle you. No, he's coming in there to tranquilize you. Punches from all kind of angles you don't see coming. And Tim Tszyu, I think, is going to crap his shorts. I'm serious, if he can't hurt that man by round 4 or 5. And it's going to be lights out. That's just how I see it. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Leave your comments below. In the breeze.